So yeah, I will be painting this model. I haven't really thought too much about how or what kind of paint style. I've been doing a little bit of research, looking at what other people have done. But I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. I'm feeling like I want to use resin for like a diorama type base. I've used resin just once before, and I'd still like to kind of learn and experiment with it. So we're gonna probably use resin in some fashion. Okay, so this guy can hold this weapon. Oh my god, this is so fiddly. Ooh, gonna have to be very careful about that. How does he hold this? There he is, guys. What is the name of this suit? It's a Heinrich Panzerkampf Anzug H0. The Heinrich. He's gonna shove this somewhere where the sun doesn't shine. And here's the other one. Chunkier. These are very charming to me. And so you can actually do something where it comes with this little base, right? And the base has these two little pegs, which then can actually slot into the dome itself. Just like this. And you can do something like this. You can actually have them kind of propped up like this for display, which is actually kind of funny. I probably won't do that when it comes to like ultimately finding a way to display them, but it's kind of fun. But if you want to do that, you have to keep in mind that you have to leave out one of these pegs, one of these like under the treads for the feet, because I can't really take this out now, and so I can't really use it for this one, which I wasn't really intending to. But yeah, we have finished these two guys, and you can change the weapon. This one is actually kind of neat because you can change out the loadout on this guy. You can give him two kinds of missiles. There's that one and this one, which I don't know. I think I kind of like this one more. I kind of like this one. And this part here is really, really delicate and really small. This like camera thing. And I'm gonna have to take out this glass dome in order to, well, plastic, to paint the face and all the details inside. So that's gonna be a bit more involved compared to this one. But they're gonna look really neat together, painted up. We're gonna paint them like, I guess, the same color so they look uniform. Right now they're different colors, so they look like they're from like opposing factions or something, but it'll be pretty neat to see them as like a unified unit. And we have two water slides that we can use. Yeah, so each of these kits came with one sheet of water slides, and they're really nice. Like they give you way more than you're ever gonna really need. So this will be great to use for for Gundam or something. Anything really. If you want just numbers. This fish is really cool. There's some quote here, like a poem. Things are changing, but nothing changes, and still there are changes. And then it's in French, which I don't want to read and butcher French, but there's a bunch of cool symbols here. Bacon, any idea what color you paint them? Okay, so here's an example of the two things painted. This is rather nice, right? This black and red one. That's pretty cool. And this one is this looks a little more like a nautical kind of look to it. It looks so funny. It doesn't even look right, like in terms of the scale, like the way how big this guy is set inside this body. It doesn't even seem right, but that's how it is. And I just love how there's something kind of peculiar about that. It's kind of funny. For as serious as it's painted and how grim and grimy it looks, the fact that this guy is sticking out, it's kind of humorous, and how it's so egg-shaped and everything. I like that. Yeah, so I think I want to use resin. The body and the legs seem too short. Right. Yeah, the torso and the legs. The legs are kind of bent, right? If you look here at the side, the legs are always kind of bent. So I think that kind of partially explains some of that. But it is odd, and people often remark how up until fairly recently, the Space Marines from Warhammer 40k were very awkwardly posed or awkwardly proportioned, and only within the last few years have they kind of addressed that and kind of made it so that they have like hips and that they seem more in proportion to their armor and everything. But yeah, that's a thing in Warhammer as well, and yeah, it's weird, but it's funny. So regarding the color scheme, I think one thing that I'd like to kind of figure out is what I want to do for a diorama, you know? And then that'll kind of inform how I want to paint this. So, for example, like I was talking about how I want to use resin and I want to use like water, create water effects again. But instead of using like ice, maybe this time we could make like a swamp, right? So that would make it so that maybe I'd paint these guys in like a swampy camo kind of color scheme, or maybe a jungle, so then maybe we could do like a jungle color scheme. I have all of that snow stuff that I bought, so if I were to do another snow scene, we could kind of do a snow camo, but I might not do that because I did a lot of snow. So the Frost Giant was a snow project, and then the Dark Souls thing that I'm working on is also a snow scene. So I probably won't do a snow scene, as I'm sort of talking myself through all of this as I kind of decide. But yeah, there's a lot of options out there. We'll see. We can put this guy in. We can put both of them in here for now. I think they'll fit. Let's just leave him out because he looks cool. Let's leave him out. We can put these instructions back. But yeah, I have to say that these kits, you know, they're small, but they're good. Surprisingly good. And I definitely would get more if the opportunity arises, or maybe if I can find them on eBay or whatever. Yeah, there was a builder slash YouTuber in Japan. His name he goes by Obscurities in Miniature, or High Lord Tamberlane. And shoutouts to Obscurities in Miniature, by the way. He saw that I got these, and he was like, "Oh man, you're lucky. Those are so cool. Like I've been trying to find them, and I just never really had the opportunity. I never had like the right amount of change on me to buy one, and now they're just gone. I can't find them." And yeah, he lives in Japan, and he can't find them anymore. They had three waves, three series of this, and my understanding is that there might be more in the future. Whether it be more gacha or actual kits. That's all coming from Lincoln Wright, or Link Sensei, who's kind of like the what's his name? The Meijin Kawaguchi for Maschinen Krieger. He's like the Western Meijin Kawaguchi. He has this video up explaining how like Ko Yokoyama Sensei, the designer, the owner of this franchise, sort of appointed him the English-speaking world ambassador to the brand, which is really cool, really interesting. Because for the longest time, there's been a number of Westerners who are into these model kits. Not these ones specifically, but the larger ones from Wave and other manufacturers, Hasegawa. But there was no way to really learn too much about them because there wasn't, like, the kits were coming to North America, but there wasn't any like supplementary material. There wasn't much information on the little tips and tricks on how to build them, how to paint them, the weathering and stuff. And yeah, like Lincoln Wright, who's Australian and spent a long time living in Japan and working with the hobby magazines in Japan, producing model kits for ad purposes and stuff like that. He has now become the ambassador for Ma.K, which is pretty cool.